Alrighty guys, we're back. So what I did while we were away is did some rearranging. I didn't build anything. I just let the research continue. But as you can see, I kind of tore down everything down here and I've rearranged it a bit. I took my burner miners and I set them up along my conveyor belt so that they start feeding the conveyor belt. We are going to replace these because right now we have to keep coming down here and fueling them. I ran the power lines because we're just about ready to start getting electricity. And we're just about ready to have electric mining. So I let this run a little bit just to let it build up so you guys can kind of see what I meant. So my coal's coming over, it's splitting up into the two locations, and then we're dropping it on each side of the belt and then splitting it up. Once I put inserters in here, it'll pull from these lines and right into these, and it'll feed our fuel and it'll feed our iron, and we'll get both all at the same time. I moved my coal miners over here. Now again, because they're not self-feeding anymore, I'm now going to have to feed them with fuel, but it's okay because they're going to go away. We're splitting this off. We have not fueled any of this stuff. There we go. Now it is fueled. And all I did was hit the left control and the left mouse button and drug a pile, and it'll automatically fill a pile into each one. So this one we're going to have it making our science pack, our red science packs. Excuse me, this one we're going to have making our gears, our regular motors, wire, because the electric motor requires wire and motors. And then this one we're saving. This is going to be making our inserters to start off with. That's what we're going to have it make, because we can now make inserters. We only have so much materials, but we're okay. We can get it started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a patch of copper so we can get some copper made so we can get our electric motors. Meanwhile, we need to make some burner inserters, because burner inserters are required to make regular inserters. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to give this some fuel, and we're going to hand jam some plates or some iron into these, simply so we can get ourselves some iron plates, because we're going to need rods to make iron sticks. Make a bunch of iron sticks, and then we'll change the production on that. We're gonna wait till we get these inserters done before we start any more science, because right now we're kind of limited on resources and having moved stuff around, which is okay, because we're not going to be in a dearth for much longer. Once we get, and that should be plenty. Alright, so now from there we need to make burner inserters. Burner inserters require 2 iron sticks and a motor. Well, we got motors, we got iron sticks, so let's go ahead and get burner inserters started. And then once the burner inserters are started, we will change those over to regular inserters. And we're going to bang out all of those, because we're going to need a bunch of inserters anyway. We'll just let it run. So in the meantime, let's clear out some of this stone. We're going to grab some more iron. We're going to get some more iron producing, because we are going to need it. So might as well just grab it up, throw it in the furnace, get it started, grab out what we've already got. Alright, so there we go. So now we can take our burner inserters and our electric motors and we can make our regular inserters. So that's what we're going to make. So now we need our copper wire and we need our regular motors. So now we can make electric motors. And we're just going to let that run. I'm going to go ahead and start another batch of copper for copper wire, because why not? Throw that in there, and that in there, and we'll start making some copper, because again, why not? We're going to need it anyway. So now we have electric motors and burner inserters. We can make our regular inserters. So let's do that. We're almost to the point of having it automated to complete our for completing this kind of loop of just having plates made. We're getting there, guys. It's a long, slow race, but we will win in the end. All right, so inserters in, inserters out. Kind of a little anal retentive. I like them to line up. So let's do this. Oh no, that's not gonna. That's gonna. Yeah. All right. If we put that down there, it's going to try and draw off of that line. Let's do this. Alright, there we go. There's that. Take the remainder and do that. Then we're going to take our power poles and we're going to go. Now if we'd have spaced these, we could have put it there and we'd have saved on power poles, but we don't. I'm not going to worry about power poles. And I will tell you that if you put these down in weird order, then these will cross and you get that weird looking crossy stuff, and it drives people nuts. And I can understand why. Actually, let's take that one out because we want to go here, 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 line them up. There we go. All right, so that's got us all hooked into the grid. Now that's not doing us any good yet because we're not making power yet, but that's okay. Now that we've got enough of this done, we can start going back here and we can finish up researching our electric miners, and we can start researching our power. In the meantime, we can make a burner turbine, and a burner turbine requires a stone furnace, 4 electric motors, and iron gears. Well, we have everything but the iron gears, which we're in the process of making. So let's go up here. We'll make 1 burner turbine. And we have to make at least 1 because we have to jumpstart our electrical system. In the vanilla game, when you put down a water pump, it does not need power. It automatically starts pumping. In this particular game, and let's make some pipes because we're going to need some pipes. In this particular game, A pump requires electricity to pump. So one of the things we have to be real careful of is if our power dies, our pumps turn off, our power will not restart automatically. We're going to have a way to kick it. So we need to have one burner turbine in order to kick the system over and start the pump pumping. We're going to make a bunch of these. We're going to use them eventually anyway. We're just about to the point now where everything's going to be automatically forged as far as the plates. So we're not as worried about how many plates we're using up at a time. So we're going to come over and we're going to bring our power plant out. Probably down here, I guess. We don't really need much of a power plant right now. We just need enough to get us going. We can relocate the plant. We can relocate all of this at some point anyway. Alright, good enough. Alright, so we need a pump. A pump requires 2 electric motors and pipes. There we go. There's our offshore pump. Now, here's the thing. See all these squares? That'll tell you where you can place it. The problem is, as soon as we place this, it's going to tell us we need power. It will not pump water no matter what without power. In the vanilla game, you just put it down, it goes. Alright. The other thing we're going to want is we're going to want some underground pipes. And let's put that in, and then this is like 2 plates per or something. There we go. That's enough for now. We just want to set up our basic system. So this will not start pumping. It will sit there all day long until we tell it to do something. I'm just doing that to set up for my power plant. So what we can do, and I think we already did we build it? Yes. What we can do is we can take this burner generator and if we run a pole to it, and we fuel it up, it will start running that pump, and that will kick our other system going. I'm not gonna run this until we've got our power plant set up. There's no sense in doing so, because that will not run this whole electric system. No way, no how. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and get ourselves some more iron. We're going to want the iron anyway. Right? Okay. So we need 100 for that and 100 for that. So let's get that rolling. And that'll get us going. So what else can we build in the meantime? We're going to want to build some crates to put our iron in and our copper in when it comes out so it doesn't back up. How many? Okay, we're going to want to do this. We're going to want more of these. Make what we can. There we go. And then we're going to want some crates. And we got wood. We'll make a couple of wooden crates for now. That should be plenty. Because these will fill up. Oops. Don't need that many there. We do need them spaced right though. Right? There we go. And then we're going to want those to go into those to go into those. We're going to want some more belts, obviously. Belts. So we're going to need more belts anyway, because we're going to need them to finish up our power plant. Nice thing is, once we got this going, we can automate all of this as well, because we'll have the power to do it, and we'll have the plate production as a regular to do it, and we won't have to try and rob Peter to pay Paul on a regular basis here just to get it done. So we're kind of right now at a standstill until this finishes researching. And I don't want to make another lab. I guess we could make two, because I think to make the other labs you require a burner lab. It's crazy. Everything requires the burner labs to make the other labs. I think we have enough. We can do it. We can make one more. Copper plates. We'll make a second one. That'll double our speed on our research once we fuel it. There we go. All right, that'll make our speed, our research twice as fast. We're still going to have to worry about our. I don't think this is enough to feed this. We can try it. I don't think this is enough oomph to feed the whole system. Yeah, it's gonna go quick, and oh well, sort of enough. So now basically you're seeing what we're gonna get done, what we're gonna accomplish ultimately here is it's gonna feed itself. And there we go. Oops. Right? There we go. And then that's going to go ahead and pump out our plates and what have you. There we go. There. Give it some power. There we go. It's just going to box the stuff up for us. Now we won't be as hurting for plates as we were. Let's make ourselves some more inserters. Well, no, because we want to save those. Well, yeah. Let's make ourselves some inserters if we can. We'll get that started. It'll be nice once we can get this all automated, because then this will pump right along with our research and it'll be so much faster. versus what we're doing right now, yeah, it'll be a huge difference between the two. I'm not entirely sure we want to do this, but we're going to do it anyway. There we go. See how you get the wonky, and you can go back and fix those. You grab a piece of cable and you click on it, and you can eliminate the ones that you don't need and what have you. At some point we're going to have to go back down there and feed those inserters, or feed those miners, but for right now we're going to live with it. Alright, let's convert all of this to what we need. So we're going to need another of those and another of those, right? There we go. Alright. So now we got two of them producing. Let's do a third just to get this banged out quicker. We got these all producing science now. That'll get us our electric miners and our electric system faster. How are we doing? How is this thing holding up on the load? Not terrible. I don't want to rely too much on it. Because it does make a lot of pollution. We are really starting to expand our pollution cloud. As soon as we have our production up and running, we're going to have to change over to defenses and start building a bunch of defenses to get this going. Now luckily, from the looks of it, the map, this is mostly water going up here, so we're kind of separated on this side, but eventually they will come around and come at us from this side. So if we come down here and we cut ourselves off from the rest of the land down here, we should be good, at least for a little while. Alright, we are out of gears, apparently. So let's go get ourselves some more gears. Alright. So while we are waiting, let's take a walk real quick and see how far up this goes. Okay, so there we go. So now we're started onto our steam power, which is what we really want. It's more efficient than the burner turbine, which means less pollution. Alright, so it looks like, are we completely cut off? No, we have one spot right here where we are connected with the other side. So we're not completely isolated. We're going to have to come up here and wall that off. Biters will not cross water, but they will cross the land, and they will come after you. Alright, so it looks like, is there, no, that's disconnected. How are we doing? We probably want to pick up some coal, and while we're on our way down to check out down there, we will feed those miners. Because it looks like we're not getting any more, so it is time to feed miners. Looks like we are out of fuel down there because we're not producing any more iron ore. So our timing was pretty good on going down there. Yep. They are empty. It's okay, because now we have electric miners, so we'll be making some of those, and then we won't have to worry about going down there to fuel anything anymore. We will just have to make sure we keep enough fuel to run the power plants. So let's make sure this doesn't connect. It does not. It's an isthmus. Isthmus? Pronounce it isthmus, I think? Yeah. So we're good to go there. So while that's building up, we're just going to do some exploration real quick just to see what this fog of war is covering up. Because I know there's biters around here somewhere. There's got to be. We expanded our starting base, but at some point there will be biters. So we're just going to open it up by one block, you know, as far as how far out we see. Now this is what I was talking about right here. This was a meteor. These stones right here were meteors. They give us a little bit of resources, but not a lot. Some stone, some iron, some copper. But this is what they do. They damage stuff. We want to be real careful of that. Because if it lands on our base and blows up our buildings, then we have to rebuild our buildings. And if we don't have spare buildings or we don't have spare resources, we could potentially be really screwed. So there are defenses that you can build in order to take care of that. We got a cliff here. Go around the cliff. Just trying to get a lay of the land to see where any potential biters may be coming from, and just how far out we can allow our pollution to go before it becomes a concern. Let's get around this cliff. All right. So now we have a better idea of where we got to block off. We got to block off here, and we're going to have to block off here. There is some biters down here. Looks like there's some kind of crude oil. Okay. So we're okay on that side for a little bit. We're not so much okay on this other side. We're definitely going to have to get that one space blocked off as soon as we can. So once we get our power plant up and running, we're going to build some walls, we're going to build some turrets, and we're going to just fortify that little cross section up there to keep them from coming and doing bad things to us. If you stay proactive on the biters, you can keep up with them. If you don't, then you really kind of run the potential of being overwhelmed and swamped eventually. There we go. That should get us enough to get our steam power going. So let's look at what we need. Now if I click this, it's going to start building it. We don't want to do that. Now let's see, but we want to look and see what it's going to take us to build turrets. So it's going to take us motors, and it's going to take us iron gears and iron plates, all of which we have. So we can tell this to build us some turrets, and we're just going to, however many we can get out of that. 20, looks like we can get 4, maybe 5 out of it. We'll take it. And this one, we're going to have it build ammo. And we're going to have this one build ammo. And then we're going to take these and we're going to grab some fuel. And we're going to start building bricks because we need bricks for walls. And that'll give us the ability to block that one spot up there off. Meanwhile, that lets us build this up. How are we doing on fuel? We're doing fine on fuel over here. We're doing okay for fuel for here and for now. Alright. Alright, so that gave us 4. 4 should be enough just to cover that small area up there. So now we're going to tell it to build walls. And we're going to take these bricks and we're going to make walls with them. As soon as we get enough walls, we'll go up there and we'll close that off. And what we may do is rather than close this off, we may close it off here. It's a little less crunchy than up there, and it gives us a little more, a little narrower spot that we can do it with. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now we just need ammo. So let's go get ourselves some plates. looking. Alright, that'll give us, let's see, 400 is 25 a piece. I don't think it's going to take that many to do it. Now, just because we're blocking off up here, and that's where the majority of them are going to come from because of the pollution, does not mean that we don't want to keep in mind that we need to protect the other stuff. Because we do. And we don't want to forget about it. And just like those meteors will kill your stuff, they will kill your walls, and they will kill your defenses. I'm going to pick up some fish while we're standing here, and they're available. Come on. Fish are health. Fish will give you health. And let's put it on that side. And then there we go. That's all the ammo we have for now. But now those are fully, or not fully, but they got plenty of ammo for now. That should stop any small biters that show up. And right now, that's all we're really going to have is small biters. They evolve, but they only evolve so fast and with so much pollution, and hopefully we have not done so much that we've got a huge evolution on our hands. Which, interestingly enough, is kind of a neat movie if anybody's ever watched it. It's a little odd, but I recommend it. Check it out. Alright, so there we go. Now we just have to wait for our steam power to finish researching, which it will soon. And then we'll be able to build our power plant. And once we have that built, we're going to call it an episode, I think. Whoops. That was dumb. It will be shorter than the other one, but we're going to call it an episode anyway. Mostly because I have some things I got to get done. Alright, so there we go. So now, let us see what we need to build this. So we're going to need stone furnaces. We got 6 of them. 6 of them should be plenty for now. That's going to give us, well, you know what? What the hell? Alright. I don't know why I took those up anyway. This, we're just going to go ahead and get it to make it. And then this, we need pipes and stone furnaces. And we should have pipes. Yes, we do. So we're going to make that. That'll make us 6. And then as soon as this gives us that, we're going to do 6 more. And then we're going to want this, which needs electric motors, gears, and plates. Electric motors we have, gears and plates. So we have a total of 12. So each one of these will do a power plant, so we can do up to 24. And then we're going to want burner inserters, which is a little counterintuitive. Everything electric, this, that, and the other. But in this particular case, burner inserters are the way to go, because they will automatically fuel themselves. So if your electricity gets low, they won't slow down. They will continue to work as fast as they work. So you don't have to worry about brownouts or blackouts with them. And like I said, over here you got to worry about, that's got to have some power for that pump to work. And if we lose any power, we're screwed. So we want some burner inserters, because they're self-fueling. Alright, so that gives us 8 steam engines. That's enough for now. Now we're going to want our burner inserters. So sticks and motors. Once this has got enough, we'll go back and we'll have it produce. That's good enough. Alright, motors. Once again, we need motors. Everything needs motors. There we go. Alright, good enough for now. We'll let that finish. We'll let that finish. Meanwhile, we'll go over here and we'll start setting up our power plant. So, water goes in the side, or goes in the ends, and comes out the sides. The one side as steam. In the middle, you want a line to fuel it. You want a burner inserter on each one. There we go. Now we're going to have to move these around, obviously, I'm sure. But this will get us started. So then, boom, boom, boom. Pipe at the end. Gives you enough space to put in. It lets you walk through now, because I believe they changed it. But it also gives you enough space to put in your telephone poles. This is an old habit. I like to do this because it allows me to be able to walk through here. If I put pipes, it wouldn't let me walk through. That would be a problem. This way we don't have that problem. Power pole, because eventually we'll have another one there, but we ain't gonna have it right now. We don't care. And then we bring our coal up to those. It'll come up here. The burner inserters will fuel themselves, and then they will fuel the boilers. The boilers will start to make steam. Steam will start to turn to generators. The generators will make power for us. And because it's all electrically connected, boom, it will power everything else. Now all we need is to make miners so that we can power them, which means electric motors, burner drills, and gears. So we got those. We need that. And then that will make those. Once we have enough cable, there we go. And then for each miner, we need 4 motors. So we're going to want 4 down there, 4, 8, 16 motors total. 2 for up there. 24. So we're going to want 24 electric motors, ultimately. Actually, we're going to want more than that because we're going to want them for the coal, but the coal is close enough, we can get to those. First thing we want to do is we want to worry about those ones. Hell, this is even close enough, the copper, that we can get those second. So the first thing we want to worry about is having enough iron miners that we can get those going. Alright. Right, and then that requires the iron gears, electric motors, and burner miner drills. So we want gears. We have some already, and then we're going to grab these up because, again, we're trying to not build anything by hand. We already have burner miners down here, so we're just going to snag these up and use them, but that's why we took a factory with us. Now we can scarf these up. Set that up. So that finished our automation for our regular assemblers. Now we got to start thinking about what we want. Fuel processing. Nanobots is something we're going to want. It's going to make it easier for us once we start doing big builds. I think we're going to want this next because then that's going to give us electric laboratories. We won't have to continue to feed our laboratories. Let's do that. Let's do steel processing. Sand is going to give us cement, which we don't need right away, but it is going to give us our fuel, our fluid handling, and our green stuff. That we don't really need right now. Shooting speed and damage we don't need right away. Let's bang that out. Let's bang that out. That gives us those. Fuel, I don't know that we need it right now because we don't have cars, but you know what? We can get it off our list. We're probably going to want armor. Fast inserters we don't need yet. Let's get our armor. Let's get our radar, because those are going to be things that we're going to use. Alright, so there it is. So let's get these laid down. And then that will determine our layout for our power poles. And I'm just holding down the left mouse button and walking, and it'll automatically space them out at their max, so that they still connect. And then we're going to want one to connect the system. There we go. Now we don't have to come back down here and refuel those. We just need to make more of them so that our production's higher. But we won't have to won't have to refuel any more of them. And then we can make miners for up here and do the same thing. And miners for our coal. Let's do our coal first. Get those knocked out. And we are out of motors. All right. Go. Just gotta hook it up. There we go. Motors. Alright, so we want motors. Alright, now we got our coal production. We just need wire. Make some more motors. One miner. That will give us enough to make a couple of miners for up here. There we go. We are now in busyness. So now we have all our basic production done. We're making electricity, we're making plates, we're making ore. So we're good. Now it's just a matter of expanding on that. And so all of the things that feed, we now have to automate those so that we're not having to switch in and out factories and what have you. And I do believe that, yes, we can now make, that's burner factories, but we can now make level 1, they call them assemblers, factories, what have you. But now we can make those in an assembly machine. So we can set up an assembly line to to do all of that. So now our next goal is to expand this production enough that we can support an automated assembly line that's going to make all our basic factories and what have you. So there we go. We got it up and running, guys. In just 2 hours, we are on the road to having the basics. It's a matter of just building them out. So there we go. I think what I will probably do, just to not waste you guys' time and mine, is we will work on building out this mining production off camera, and when we come back we will have mines built, and we are going to expand out this smelting so that we have a really good production system going for plates. And once we have that, then we can start looking at automating our factory. So when we come back, all of our ore deposits will be full bore mining, and we will be full bore smelting, and we will maybe be full bore power planting as well. We'll see. We may have to move the power plant a little bit to have some more space, but we'll figure it out. But there we go, guys. All right, take care, and I will talk at you later. Bye.